Good morning, everybody. It's about 8 something in the morning. We've got a lot to do today. It's a Friday and so many things going on right now. First of all, we have a boil order in our city that's been going on for a couple days. Not a big deal for us because we already create our own drinking water, like I told you, with our distiller and with our RO water system. But this weekend we'll need to make more water. So we'll need to do that this weekend. And I'm planning because another thing is our pantry is getting a little bit low, and I like to make sure that I have plenty of food because, as you know, we don't leave home. So everything's got to be pre-planned and ordered, and I utilize delivery services. So I thought today would be a great day to see how we go about getting our groceries delivered. But the day always starts first with Heit's coffee. So let's make that. We are Heit Cheri, and we haven't left our home for any reason nor come in face-to-face contact with anyone since March of 2020. That's more than 19 months living in our own world. This is our life. We've decided to self-quarantine due to the pandemic, so come along and see how we manage to still have a life while not leaving home. So I'm trying to, this might be kind of loud, and it makes that sound sort of like that movie Get Out. Anyway, I'm trying to remember everything that we actually need because when I can, I try to keep our grocery runs to about once every 3 to 4 weeks. But I try to minimize delivery fees and stuff like that. So if we can do a delivery run about once every 3 to 4 weeks, that's the best for our budget. You're probably thinking that it costs a whole lot of money to have all your groceries delivered. It does cost more because you're paying delivery fees and whatnot, but I do try to minimize the cost. And well, it may be a little bit more expensive, but then I cut back in other areas and then it just balances out. Let me get this coffee to Heit and we can talk about what types of things we need on the grocery list this month. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down my grocery list, and it's really convenient because I happen to use Instacart, and I also use a grocery app from the store that I like to shop from, H-E-B. That's a local grocery store here in Texas. So usually what I do, which is very convenient, is today I'm going to order from Instacart. The easiest thing for me to do is go to buy it again. These are all the items that are in stock. So let me just start adding a few things. That makes it really easy. A lot of times I don't even have a formal shopping list, which probably means I maybe spend a little more money than I should, but that's a quick and convenient way if you happen to use Instacart. These prices are starting to really jump up much higher than they had been in the past. Like the for 24 ears of corn, the frozen kind, seems like it used to be maybe closer to $5 and now it's $7.59. Keep in mind though that these prices are slightly, they have a percentage added on because it's through Instacart. So this isn't what the price you would pay if you went into the store. This is not sponsored, but this is just how we manage to survive without leaving the house. Using these different delivery services. Now, one of the things I wanted to say about the pantry and what I typically do is I like to make sure that we have things so that no matter what happens, if there are any interruptions in business or stuff doesn't get delivered, you remember toward the beginning of the pandemic where you couldn't get toilet paper, the Lysol, bleach, and other stuff, I try to have at least enough so that we can get along for a little while without either having to pay exorbitant prices for those items or without having to go without. One of the things I always make sure that we have are staples like rice and beans. So if something happens, we still can eat. This is sort of, for now, my backup bag of rice. It's actually really heavy. It's a 20-pound bag of rice. This is white rice. I bought this probably more than a year ago, but I just leave it in the pantry. And then the way that we work, it's heavy. The way that we work our pantry is it's a running pantry. So I try to use things that have been in there a while first, and then the newer stuff push back. Of course, since that's our backup rice, I'll probably order even more rice just to have on hand. Because the other thing is, here in Texas, we had a really, really bad ice storm in winter last year.
It's all covered in ice.
There were people who were without power for a couple of weeks or more. While it may not be cold like in Chicago where I'm from, to be without power for that long, which means here where we live, we don't have gas. Everything is electric, the stoves, everything. So people were having to either try to go out and get things to eat at restaurants, which also didn't have power, a lot of them, or they would try to barbecue. But the nice thing is we do have cast iron pots, and if it ever came to it, then we would have to go outside and cook something. But you can always cook beans and rice. It's not exactly what you want to eat. It's not going to be a delicacy, but you will survive if you have to off of beans and rice. I also have some backup ramen in there too. Stuff that we don't touch, but just to make sure that if we get in a pinch, we can survive. So I don't know why it says package, but I think that it just means peppers. So I want to order 20 jalapeno peppers because Heit likes to make stuffed peppers, and we have some cream cheese for him to be able to do that, but we don't have the peppers because they forgot it on our last order. So the final thing that I usually do is just scroll through my cart, make sure that, you know, everything on here I want. And I'm going to take a look in the kitchen in just a few minutes and then see if I've gotten everything. So I did realize one thing that I forgot to get. I'm going to get some apple cider. Well, this is grape juice. Oh, but he said, you know what? I'll just get this one. So the reason I'm getting this is because I had some that was an apple cider, and I had asked him if he wanted some because I had opened it up, and he said no. And then I just didn't ask. And then each day I just kind of kept getting a little bit, a little sip. And the next thing you know, the bottle was gone and he didn't get any. And I felt really bad. So anyway, let me order some of that so he can have some. And he just mentioned recently about not having any grape juice and how he used to like grape juice. Oh, okay, so here's the almond milk. Instead of getting one, I'm going to get two because I realized I had to throw one of them away. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to remember not to let those expiration dates get away from me on the almond milk. Other than that, I think I have everything that I need. Some of these vegetables, like the carrots, I bought because the mixed vegetables that are frozen, I want to make a vegetable or chicken and vegetable soup. 64 items. It's going to cost about $222. So now that I'm done shopping, you know, it always wants to have you see if you want to add any junk food. I'm going to pass on the junk for now. And then I do the Instacart Express Savings. It's a monthly fee, and I think it's $9.99 a month. It allows you to have reduced service fees. I think it waives the delivery charge itself. So anyway, obviously you can see if I do Instacart a couple times a month, then I've already saved that $9.99. On this order alone, it saved what is that, about $11 or more than 11? Yeah, about $11. So I've got my order placed, and let's talk about why I typically tip on average about what I would say is $20 per shopping hour. If I think it's going to take about an hour for them to walk through the store and pick up everything, then I'll tip about $20. If it's a particularly large order, then I may tip even more than that. But if I think it'll take 30 minutes, then I tip $10 and so on and so forth. But then I also want to tip extra if it's good quality, because I recognize people are out in these stores. We could not live this lifestyle without them. I tip extra for things like if they got that order done really quickly, or if they asked about replacements. So I just got the notification on my phone that tells me that the shopper is shopping my order shortly. I can add items if I want to add them. In the meantime, the other thing I've got to do is I've got to get in contact with really, I call her like our personal assistant. She's a person who I've developed a relationship with, who goes and does all of the things that we need, the running around, the errands and stuff, things that are not just simple deliveries. For instance, if we need any prescriptions, if we need certain things picked up. Right now, one of the things we need picked up is a battery, because our car has been sitting for months and months and months, and we do crank it up, but regardless, at the end of the day, we're not driving it around, and the battery just dies every few months. And we have a charger, it'll charge up, but eventually the battery will just die. Also, we need to check and see if there are things that we might want to have picked up. And what I do is I place a curbside order, and she will go pick those items up and then deliver them here to us at the house. So I've got to get in contact with her today because it's Friday, and I want to maybe have her do the pickup on Monday. I was telling you how I love to be able to go along with them as they shop. So there were just adjustments made in the price. These are things that have to be weighed and stuff. And then I can see all the items that she's still shopping for. And so now I can see the things that she actually did shop. I did mention, but they do have a chat there, so I can chat with her. If I did forget something, I could say, hey, can you pick this item up? All right, so it's showing that the Instacart order is pretty much done. You can see that there were some replacements in here. As the replacements happen, you can approve them, which I did. And so, yeah, everything's done. So now I have to actually go and prepare for her to come and deliver the order. So let's see what I do for that. So I use these boxes, you know, the kind that you can get from Sam's or anywhere else. I use these boxes in order to set them out for the groceries delivery. Here's another one. And I sit them out on the front so that she doesn't have to put the grocery bags and whatever onto the ground. Oh my goodness, I think she got here faster than I expected. So what I do is I just put these boxes out front like this. Hi. This is where I put the boxes, and she can leave the groceries there. So right now she's unloading. Wow, that happened really fast. I was not expecting it. I had even taken the broom out front just to sweep off the patio, so that, you know, I'm putting boxes down on a clean surface, or, you know, one that doesn't have debris or whatever on it. Now I have to clean everything else off before it goes to the kitchen. So I'll show you that too. I'm out of breath. The bleach is just as a disinfectant. Typically they would say a 10% bleach solution is fine. Me, I just dump this on here. It's easy, and sometimes I'll add water to keep it moist. But these paper towels, they're recycled, so they break down pretty easily. I typically like to start with the items that need to be refrigerated first. Order of this size would take me about 45 minutes to an hour to process bringing it into the house. But this is what I consider just decontaminating our groceries or decontaminating our food items when we bring them into the house. I'm just wiping my chicken down. With chicken anyway, I don't know if chicken juice got on this, if one of the packages could have been busted. So it's still turned out to be a really good practice. So since I know I'm going to freeze some of the cheese, I'll put that in the pile with the freezer stuff. So it's stuff that comes in a bag like this. The nice thing is that the fillets are individually wrapped, which means technically I didn't have to clean it off.
One new notification. From Amazon Shopping. 2 months ago, you bought Need Envelopes on Amazon. How many stars would you rate it, from 1 to 5?
5.
Thanks. Your rating will help other customers make better choices.
These are the jalapenos that we ordered. There should be 20 of them. I'm not going to count them. They all look like they're there. So I just wiped this off, but I got this for you.
For me?
Yes.
For what?
Because, you know, the apple cider,
great.
I had drank it up, and then I looked to see if they had apple cider, the sparkling apple, and they didn't. But they had grape, and I remember where you were talking about how you loved grape juice and used to drink that in the Marines. So these are all the cold and produce items, anything that needs to be frozen, refrigerated, or is produce that I need to wash or give special attention to. So I'm not gonna do all the cans, boxed items, and all that right now. I'll do that later on because I've got some other work that I've got to get to. All right, so I'm in here at Heit's desk, but I just got finished with everything in the kitchen and I'm tired. So like I said, I'm taking a quick break and I'll get back to that. I've got some other business I need to tend to, but I did hear back from Jennifer, our personal assistant. And so she said she's free on Monday. I'm going to set up all of our orders so that she can do curbside pickup on them sometime on Monday afternoon when she's free.